abused so quickly.
From Nicole Arbach, that's from what Craig was just talking about when it comes to salary scholarship limits. The second recommendation, this is again from the Transformational Committee among some others and whoever's doing all this, implement a 2-year waiver on initial counter limits for FBS and FCS football, allowing schools to offer whatever available scholarships they have to recruits or transfers, up to 85 scholarships per team, and in the FBS 63, or the FCS 63. Go down a couple of notes. It said last with Todd Berry, who joined us last week, coaches want to push legislation to abolish the initial counters cap 25 instead of a short-term waiver. So many players are transferring out of programs who cannot be replaced if coaches have already signed a full class. Coaches have been frustrated that they're under the 85 limit, the cap, but can't do anything about it. Between the one-time transfer rule change and current players still having extra years of eligibility due to the pandemic, there have not been as many scholarship opportunities for high school players as there should be.
Well, yeah, the COVID year has jumbled everything up. I mean, that really has. Again, I say this all the time, like at least once a week, but I don't even know if a guy's a junior or he's a third-year junior with a year left, or if he's got 5 of them left. I don't even know at this point for half these guys. I just know, once I see 6 in front of their names, I think they're done now.
Yeah.
But to that, that would be just because, for example, let's say that you are Texas Tech or something, right? And you go and you sign 25 guys or 24 guys to get to your 85 limit back in February. Well, then spring ball hits, and all of a sudden, 5 dudes decide to enter the transfer portal, and another 5 join them, and you may bring on a couple, but you're not up to the 85 limit. I guess suppose you could go just transfer, but then again, that's also what's hurting the high school players, is that you're not going and getting high school players to fill up that 85. You're going to get players from other teams or from JUCOs to fill up that 85. So I do agree with, I like that. I didn't like it initially when I heard of Bama's going to sign 40 guys a year just to take them away from others, but that's not what this would be. So I'm okay with that.
Man, I appreciate all of the feedback. We do. The phone calls we've had today, and also the chat room is on fire. Tony Altamore, you guys exposed the weak link in the system under the NIL. There are no more scholarship limits. The collective can just reimburse the tuition and call any number of players walk-ons. That is a possible thing as well.
So like Nebraska in the 90s with their walk-on program that Texas hated and got rid of.
The gray shirts?
Yeah.
Everybody has some sort of a way.
But you know what I'm saying.
But no, they did.
That's basically what it would be.
If you were from Nebraska, you could get a walk-on scholarship, and you could be a damn 4-star offensive lineman, however that went. But it
didn't count because they were a walk-on, even though they would have been a scholarship at Tennessee or at Alabama, but they're a walk-on at Nebraska. So, yeah, that was something Texas fought pretty much immediately from what I remember when the Big 12 formed.
They knew how to put chinks in the armor, and they were successful. Yeah. Tony, you guys exposed that. Also, from going raw with Huck, let me see. It's been a business, and now these criminals are trying to find a way to not pay their partners. Stop the bullshit. That's from going raw with Huck. I guess he's referring to the NCAA keeping down the players from getting anything. We appreciate the feedback. Going raw.
If you're referring to the NCAA, because I think everybody else is pretty on board with paying the players. I think that's been made very, very clear. There's some people that don't want to hear that because they just want to argue that you don't want to pay the players. But I think the reality for pretty much everybody at this stage, and, spare me the 1 or 2 people that you've seen on Twitter who say otherwise, but I think pretty much everybody is A-okay with the players getting paid. I think, again, to reiterate what everybody has to keep reiterating, it's not about the money. It's about the chaos on the rosters and dealing with all of that people would just like to see some of that tampering and some of that type of stuff go away. But this is not about trying to hold down the player or not pay the player and woe is me and all of that. That's not what this is. This is just wanting some structure and some order so that you know who's on your roster and you know what the rules actually are and what's permissible and what's not permissible. And, it's just a mess right now because nobody really knows. And that's what everybody's searching for, is just some idea of clarity, not trying to hold the player down or not pay them. That's not the argument.
No, it's not. It really, there was that. There was that time.
There was.
I was right in the middle of that when I was younger.
And what year was that?